I locked the attic door several hours ago. The key is in my pocket, but I can still hear someone moving up there, pacing back and forth. Sometimes she stops at the door and whispers my name. Gwen. My grandmother left me this house, and a note. She thought I could help the woman in the mirror. She was wrong, because the woman in the mirror isn't asking for help anymore. She wants out, and I think she wants revenge. My name's Gwen. I'm 37. A month or so ago, I inherited my grandmother's house in Wales. It's over 400 years old, with stone walls and low ceilings. But there was one room we were never ever allowed to enter, the attic room. Growing up, we'd creep up there giggling, listening at the door. Once, I thought I saw a dark skirt swish under the crack. I shrieked and ran away. My grandmother said there was just an antique mirror up there, too heavy for children to play near. But I always felt it was more than that. When she died, she left me a note. Gwen, I know you've always wondered about the attic room, and I need to explain. There is a spirit trapped in the mirror. A woman named Elizabeth Morgan. She was tried as a witch in 1662 and buried in unhallowed ground. I don't know where, and I don't know how she ended up in the mirror, but that is her. I've managed to keep her contained for 60 years, but I'm weaker now, tired, and she senses it. I'm so sorry to leave this burden to you. Do whatever you must, but protect yourself. Do not underestimate her. The key is yours now. Inside the envelope was a heavy iron key. I went up the next morning. December sunlight streamed through the window. In the corner stood a massive mirror, 8 feet tall, covered with a cloth which had covered this mirror for decades. My fingers shook slightly as I lifted the sheet, pulling it away. My reflection stared back, normal, just me. Following the instructions in my grandmother's note, I spoke the words in Welsh. I am Gwen, a daughter of Mary. I'm here to release you. You can rest now. Nothing happened. I frowned. My reflection frowned back. I sighed and moved towards the window. I'd never seen this view before. It was stunning, and I took in the sunlight hitting the winter hills. When I turned back, my reflection was still there, standing where I'd been, not at the window. She was staring at me. Her mouth was moving. Then she raised her hand and pointed behind me. I spun around. There was nothing there. When I looked back, she was closer, right up against the glass, smiling widely at me. Her hands were pressed flat against the surface from the inside, like she was trying to push through. The glass rippled like water. I stumbled backwards and ran. I slammed the door, locking it behind me. Downstairs, my hands still shaking, I made myself some tea and I tried to calm down. Then I heard it. Something, or someone, was walking in the attic. But I'd locked the door. No one was up there. The footsteps stopped, right above my head. The next morning, I went to the vicar and showed him my grandmother's note. He went pale. Your grandmother came to see me 6 months before she died, he said quietly. She tried to have the mirror blessed, to try to release the spirit. Nothing else seemed to have worked. What happened? He hesitated. The mirror resisted. And your grandmother? He stopped. What? She started having accidents, falling downstairs, waking with bruises, always after she'd been in that room. My blood went cold. Are you saying... I'm saying your grandmother didn't die peacefully in her sleep, Gwen. She died trying to keep something contained. He looked at me with genuine fear. Your grandmother told me if she ever failed, it would go to the next of blood. He hesitated. Some records show Elizabeth Morgan had a sister who survived those trials. And your grandmother believed you all descend from that line. She feared that Elizabeth would try to reach another Morgan. He swallowed hard. And now you've opened the door. That night, I went back to the attic. The mirror was exactly where I left it. Nothing looked out of place, but there was a faint, bare footprint in the dust. When I looked in the mirror this time, it wasn't my reflection. A younger woman stood there, dark hair, eyes that burned with fury. She wore clothes from centuries ago, a simple dress and bare feet. But her hands were wrong, burned, blackened, still smoking. She held them up to the glass, showing me. Then she pointed at me and mouthed one word. Trade. I stepped back. She pressed both burned hands against the glass, and I felt it, the heat, on my own hands. I looked down. My palms were red, feeling warm. My skin was burning, like someone was holding my hands over a fire, but I wasn't touching anything. Trade, she mouthed again. I understood. She wanted out completely, but she wanted someone to take her place. Me. I ran out of the room. I searched thoroughly, and this time I found Elizabeth's grave outside the churchyard wall. A rough stone, EM 1662. The vicar blessed the ground. We said prayers in Welsh. When I went back into the attic again, the mirror felt empty. Then I felt it. Cold air on the back of my neck. Someone breathing. I turned. There was nothing there. But when I looked back at the mirror, I was still facing away. My reflection hadn't turned with me. It was still staring at where I'd been. Then slowly, my reflection turned to look at me and smiled. Elizabeth's smile. I ran. I left everything, the house, the mirror, all of it. But I can't escape. Because every mirror I now pass, I see her, wearing my face, living my life. And I'm starting to forget which one of us is real, and which one of us is living the life that was meant to be mine. Thank you for listening, and tune in next week for another story.